Welcome back to the Fullerton College Combined Pre-Press Print 7577 class. This is Ben Hewitt, your instructor, and we're going to take a look today about how to use the pen tool. Previously, I showed you more or less why the pen tool is, or maybe just that the pen tool is the right answer for removing backgrounds in Photoshop images. This time, we'll take a closer, grittier look at the actual controls needed to make this happen, and I will throw at you some files to practice tracing on. So let me zoom in. Actually, zooming in doesn't even matter because the path is a path. Since paths are vector, it doesn't matter what size you make them originally. And if I zoom in on this, it'll still be a very narrow line for you to see. So the pen tool is found on the far left column of your toolbar here. It looks like the nib of a fountain pen. I still don't know why this is a pen and they chose this as the thing, but this is what they chose. There's a little animation you can see they kind of show it working. You click on this, or if you're me, you just press the letter P because I prefer keyboard shortcuts. So to make this work, I will actually still demo this even drawing on the, no, maybe I won't. I'll get there in a moment. I'll draw in the sky for no apparent reason just to show you it. When you have the pen tool, every click of the mouse makes a point and the points connect to each other. If you simply click quickly, I don't know if you can hear my mouse going click, 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 and let go, you will draw a straight line between the points. And if you look closely, I know I can't zoom in on this with my current view controls. I'm very sorry about that. But when I put the pen cursor control on top of that original point where I started, you see a little O next to it, a little circle. Circle is the symbol here for completion. So if I click that, that means I've come back around and I've made it a single path that connects back to itself from start to finish. And this is now a complete path. So that is the basics of the pen tool, but not the part you care about. The beauty of the pen tool is the ability to make curved lines. So let me just go ahead and clear that. I go back. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So pen tool. If you have a line, I guess I can't get rid of that first point. That is fine. Not quickly. So if you have your first point, you click to a second one, but you don't let go of the mouse. You click and you drag. Suddenly you see these two handles appear. And as you pull on the handles, you can see that it is controlling the angles of how you bend the line. It's I'm sorry that I have to go there on this one, but it reminds me of my physics classes that I took back in school. And this is like a gravitational pull, pulling that. You can see the handle above the middle of the bendy part. It's like there's a gravitational pull dragging that line towards it, stretching it in that direction. The hard part for me when I was first learning this, when I came as a youngster fresh off of MS Paint and thought Illustrator sounds like the next step, it isn't. It's like 10 steps past MS Paint. This sort of thing really threw me off because I thought that those handles were other points. And you can click on them, but what that does is then build a point up there. It doesn't actually let you do anything. So undo, undo. Oh, my screen is not showing the cool new thing. Just a moment. So if you're not getting the preview I was hoping for, whoops, undo here. Let's go ahead and go up. If you have your pen tool selected on the top bar of your Photoshop window, you'll find a little gear, a little cog thing here. That's your options for the path. And if you go down, there's a thing called rubber band. Rubber band is delightful. Rubber band shows you where your next line is going to go based off how you've clicked it. When you're doing straight lines, it's obvious. But let's make a curved line for a moment here and show you the power of this tool. Now you can see that according to the handle I've already set up, it's showing me what that handle is going to affect the next curve as. This is a game changer. You guys are spoiled. When I learned how to pen tool, you had to do it blind. You just had to guess where it's going to go and know where it's going to go. But now you can have a visual reminder just by turning on that rubber band option. You can see where your pen tool is going to land. Now, proper good people at this will know how to do this so well they'll be able to draw from the get-go and make one good picture. But that's not how I like to work. I do as good as I can, but you can come back. If you press Option, you see that my tool turns into a little V pointing at the point there. That V, think of it as that represents the handlebars. So if I do this, I can go ahead and rechange the handlebars. I can do them one at a time or both at once. Make this little shape here into more of a letter B for Ben. Careful not to cross the streams. Anyways, you can always go back and edit. You can also go back with this tool and edit only one side of that point, only one of the handles. The handles can be independent of each other. You can use it like that and make concave shapes and other things like this. And very important for when you get to things like the toothbrushes, you can make a bumpy road. I should also mention that when you click, if you don't let go of the mouse button before you start changing things and you hit Option, you change only the leaving handle, not the arriving handle. Which lets you draw W's and bouncy mounds like that. Cancel. Okay. Delete. And so let me go find the other path and get rid of it. Don't need that path. Now I'm going to show you the proper thing of actually doing this. Okay. I like to start somewhere when I'm drawing one of these. That's an easy point to come to and leave, which is typically to me, basically, I look for the most closest, there's a word for that, the shape that has the closest to a 90-degree angle that I'm tracing, because that'll be the easiest point to start and stop from. So I'll start here on the top of the vertical stabilizer, hit P, start point here, and I'll draw a straight line. I'm not going to curve it at all until here, but then I'm going to go around this corner. So I'm going to have a point before the corner and a point after. Click, pull, drag like this. And I may have to do a little bit of optioning to get the rest of that the right direction. Go down to the corner there. Then I have to judge how much of a hump do I have before it flattens out. So I'm actually going to go to here. And there we are. A little bit more fussing. I'm going to go back actually right now before I carry on. I'll hit Option. I said Option. There we go. And make that one go, because sometimes you have to pull too far in the forward one to make it happen. Bring this up slightly to here. The next point can be straight along to that. And then a little bit of curve there. See, I'm using the handles to raise up the back part from where I just went. And then go down to almost that front little piece and drag, drag, drag till it looks about right. And if it's not fully right, remember you hit Option and you can go back and fix what you've already done. The ability to go back and fix what you've already done is why I like the pen tool, because that's really how I work. It's a lot like sculpting, where you start out with a big mass of clay or a solid block you're going to carve out of. And you get your rough shape just about right, and then you refine it and you polish those edges until they look beautiful. I don't actually see it as a weakness. I see it as a strength of the system that lets you do this. So I'm going to come down here. This one, I think I could do this in one swoop from the front point all the way to the cabin. There we are, about there, but didn't quite do it. So I'm going to come back up and fix the nose a little bit more to come down, make rounder, and bring it back slightly. In the end, if I don't trace it exactly right, but my edges are smooth and clean, it'll look better than if I did do it correct, but based off pixel work instead of based off of what I'm able to see. Some of the stuff I'm not going to choose to use the smallest antennas, but the camera on the nose, that's a feature I want to keep. So I'm going to go around it, click a few little points here. Get one of its awkward little landing gear. One of the strange things about having a blimp is the landing gear doesn't have to support the full weight of the blimp, because the blimp, or I guess it does, but the blimp being lighter than air and full of helium doesn't need a very big or strong landing gear to really sit on. One of those strange little things. Even though it's huge, it sits on a little tiny wheel. This comes up here, scoops into here and there. Trying to finish this desperately before I run out of my 15-minute video cap of YouTubing here. But we're almost there. Going into the back part. Zoom in. This I can do in one swoop to the wheel bump, so I will. Bump via rear gear. Coming out here, there's a slight deflection on there. Thin. There we are. Get that flag tracing best I can. Add the curves where they belong. This is one solid swoop from there to there. Get that propeller. Slightly rounded curve there. Up to here. Grabbing the rear. That doesn't sound very good, does it? Making sure I match the curvature of the backside of the blimp. And because I picked a sharp point as my start point, it's really easy. In fact, I can just bring this all the way down so there's almost no handle, just to click a straight line to finish. There we go. I'm going to take my mouse now, right click, or I guess command click if you're a Mac without a right click, and make selection. Okay. I still have to go over here and fix some things in the layers. Remember, it has to be a layer 0 or you can't do it. Did I forget anything else? Let's see. Yep, I did. If you don't invert your selection, it's going to delete what's inside rather than what's outside. So let's make that be the outside. Select inverse, delete. And there you have it, a traced out blimp with no background. All those nice graceful curves are actually kept because the pen tool is really good at accurately tracing rounded objects. Stay tuned for one last video with a few other recommendations for you coming up soon. Bye for now.